In this video, I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, how to schedule a basement or a complex part of your building properly. Have you ever seen projects literally come out of the ground on schedule? Like, it happens very rarely because you are so logistically constrained. So I'm going to give you a method right now that you should implement anytime you have a complex feature of work, a basement, or a zero lot line on a postage stamp site where you don't have a lot of space to do your work. So let me just go ahead and draw this. I remember one time I was the superintendent over a project and we had a basement that looked kind of like this. Actually, it looked exactly like this. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, well, it was, anyway, you get my point. But it had this footprint and it was underground by about 14 feet, okay? So I did a schedule and, you come up with your typical schedule, however you want to do it. And I was really worried because I did a project walk this project was in Tucson. I did a project walk in Phoenix with a similar kind of a project. And I remember going to the job and they were like, we're 6 weeks behind on the basement. And I was asking why. Well, we had a logistical problem here. We couldn't get the cords up fast enough over here. So I freaked out. Okay, so everything on I'll call it my building, but it wasn't my building, but we had large spread footings for columns. We had continuous footings throughout, columns throughout the center portion of the building. It was a mild reinforced concrete structure. And so it also had a ramp on the north side. This is north on this side, okay? So I kind of freaked out. And I went here on the schedule and I invented, thank goodness, a technique that really saved me. I created the schedule and I went day by day. And I said, okay, sketch number 1, what is my building going to look like? Okay, sketch number 1 for day number 1 is our, once it was obviously excavated, we had a ramp. It was, all right, we are going to excavate the footings over here on this first placement. So that means that I'm going to have a backhoe, I'm going to have a pile of dirt, I'm going to have dump trucks going in and out, and that's what my basement is going to look like, okay? So basically that was day number 1, okay. Now what is it going to look like on day number 2? So I just drew my line down here and I had a separate sheet. And I'm like killing trees. I'm not proud of it, but I'm like murdering entire trees with how much paper I'm burning through here. So I'm like, okay, the excavating crew is here, but over here we're going to reinforce the footings, okay? So what I need to do, I need to have my backhoe right here, my spoils pile. I'm bringing trucks in and out, okay? Oh my gosh, the reinforcement. I'm going to have to stage the reinforcement up on the bank and really hit this with a tower crane. So I need my tower crane up by that time so that the workers can access. Oh, I'm going to also need a worker access down here. So I barely fit. Okay, totally fine. So I'm going through this and I'm getting down to the point where now I've got a basement and not only am I working over here with footings, not only is reinforcing happening here, but we've got footings being placed over here. We've got spot footings out here in the center. There is scaffolding going up for shotcrete around the rest of this thing. And I'm literally drawing this out. And what I realize is, okay, I've got the entrance blocked with my spoils pile and my backhoe. I have barely enough room to get my reinforcing over here to this side. I don't have enough room to place and to do it from the bank, so I don't have a way to get my pump in here to place the continuous footing and the spot footing, and there's no room to forklift access over here for my scaffolding for my shotcrete. So I've got a big problem here, and I got a big problem here. So my wonderful schedule, I got a problem here, and I got a problem here. It ain't gonna work. So what I start doing is saying, all right, well, this would have to move later, and we would have to move this back in. And basically my schedule grows from this wishful thinking to, oh my gosh, this is really how long it's going to take. And it doesn't come clear to you until you do the day-by-day analysis. If you've got 80 days to build this basement, you should have 80 pieces of paper drawing out where's your forklift, where's your crane, where's your pump, where's your concrete truck, where's your scaffolding, where are the reinforcing, where's the worker access. You've got to draw all of these components in here. I call it a day-by-day analysis. I have never, and I'm by no means the single source of truth, but I've never seen a basement finish on time without doing this day-by-day analysis. And I promise you, whatever schedule you thought you could keep is not going to happen. It's really going to push out. And you've got to know this in order for you to be safe. So my recommendation is anything on your project where your logistics are restricted, where you have that zero lot line, where you have a postage stamp site, where you're in a basement and you're constrained. You are not driven by durations and productivity. You are driven by logistics and space. So you have to analyze, do I have enough space day by day? If you need help doing this, we do this with our LeanTakt team, with our clients, anytime we have a scenario like this. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.